Hello, welcome to another Alien Stage video, another Luca sub-song this time. I was expecting Mizzy's next, but of course we still have more Luca story to tell. And I wonder just what type of song we're going to get. I've got what's called Sacred Light, this one is called. I do wonder what kind of vibe we'll be getting from Luca this time, whether we'll still get that sort of artificial, like manufactured pop idol song vibe that he usually gives, given his sort of position in the story and his sort of image that he does, well, of course, put it out himself, but the aliens also obviously present him that way, and that's how he's advertised, as this sort of perfect pop idol. So I wonder if we'll still be getting that despite everything that's happened. I think the last we saw of him was in it was the Till comic. We saw a poster of him. Well, we didn't actually see him, but we saw a poster of him about his return or something like that. So maybe this refers to that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, just interested to see what he's going to be singing about. Firstly, whether we'll get any sort of vulnerability at all, whether we'll get any sort of genuineness in this, or whether that mask will be firmly placed. Yeah, let's just get into it. I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to sound. I have no idea how it's going to go. I'm pretty sure this has English lyrics, well, English subtitles even. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just see what Luca has for us. Oh, that is a poignant image. Wow. Jesus, man. Definitely gonna talk about that. It's a vibe. There's such a contrast with what I'm looking at on the screen though. I've just realised there's no lyrics either. Okay, this one should have lyrics now. Let's just go from the beginning. God, that image is just... fucking hell, man. I love when I hit this high notes, man. And English is always really good. The strings, all of it remind me of Ouija. Maybe it is a nod to Ouija. Was that a Huna song or sub song? Take My Hand? Maybe I'm misremembering. So this is really good now.
Under sacred night, you were in this note. 차갑게
It's definitely a very generic K-pop vibe to it. Obviously very intentional though. What's that background noise? It's like a rumbling. It's quite unnerving. Sounds like a machine. I thought it just keeps going for quite a while after the song ends. Huh. I kind of gives me the vibe of, this helps given the pictures there, of Luca like in the hospital room, of this machine like maybe keeping him breathing or doing something to keep him alive or just keep him awake, anything like that. There's clearly something that, like, it sounds like a machine that's just like keeping him going essentially. But that is something I can only kind of infer because of the picture we have to go along with it. Yeah, that was a very generic song from Luca. Not anything unusual by those standards either, but, and like I said, definitely very intentional given his sort of position as an idol, and there's a clear juxtaposition between what I'm looking at and what I'm hearing. The lyrics, obviously, you can infer them to Hyuna, but it still does have this generic K-pop love song vibe, so this is a kind of song that can be put out there into the public without them really tapping into what the lyrics actually mean and how genuine they are to Luca. To an extent, it is able to do both. It is able to be a very heartfelt song lyrically and also act as a typical sort of piece of music that the aliens want to put out for the masses to hear and just enjoy without much substance to it. But yeah, there was a good line at the beginning. Yeah, just being trapped in here, being trapped inside my fear in a spotless night, lost in your sight, beating in your gaze the trace of me. Obviously referring to Hyuna, that I can't erase. Obviously referring to Hyuna, who knows the true Luca, who knows the genuine Luca, who is in love with her and who is obsessed with her, a Luca that no one else really knows. Yeah, I love that line, beating in your gaze the trace of me. That's a great line. Yeah, and that's a side of him that he is certainly ashamed of to an extent. Obviously trying to erase it but can't. The eyes on me so easy, right? I don't know, I first get the impression of it being more a literal thing of his sort of his very pretty appearance. He's very easy to look at, and that in contrast to what we're seeing here would feel ironic to him, for him to now sing that given the state he is now in. There does feel like to be a bit of irony there, and I can imagine, yeah, I'm almost sure that the aliens and his image will be protected from. They're not going to let Luca go out looking like this, I can guarantee that. The love under the sacred light, that was, I feel like referencing the last line Hyuna said to him. Was it live with love? Something like that. It's one of the best lines in the series where she's like, it all begins from there when you are honest with yourself and Start living with love. It's one of the best lines in the series, and I feel like that is definitely referencing that. Teach me what's to love under the sacred light. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I actually do want to check if Take My Hand is a is anything, or whether I'm just tripping. Yeah, it's a Huna sub song. Her third one. I knew I recognised it. I'm glad I remembered that, because I'm not as familiar with Huna's songs. It's not that interesting to me compared to the others, but I'm glad I remembered that. I think it's some kind of more generic K-poppy stuff. You could spare a piece, man. You always understood me. Yeah, this is similar to Mizzy, of just wanting to go back to that moment, of those moments when he was with Huna, and obviously when Mizzy was with Suwa, Turl and Ivan. Just wanting it all, just forget about it all, just go back to how it used to be. And man, like, these lyrics are even much more poignant with this image on the screen. I know half my face is probably covering it, but I'm sure you're aware of what the image is if you've listened to the song and you're here. And man, it's rough to see Luca like this. I understand is sort of a somewhat framed antagonistically throughout the series, and he's a bit of a dickhead at times, for sure. Has an unhealthy obsession with Huna, takes advantage of his opponent's weaknesses and vulnerabilities, but it's all self-survival, it's all for self-sustaining, and it seems the fire and everything that happened in Karma has really affected him visually, because I mean, Luca's whole thing is him being this perfect, good-looking, handsome idol, like, and it looks, obviously the burns looks possibly to be skin transfusions, skin transplants, paper clips holding his face together. You get the green hospital gown. It seems to be a headband as well. Maybe some brain injury. Man, it's rough for Huna. It's rough for Luca. I thought Mizzy got off bad, but Luca's not exactly doing any better. We kind of had no idea what state Luca was in physically. I wonder if it's affected. I mean, looking at his mouth as well, it's clearly going to affect his ability to sing, to talk, maybe. There's so many possible things that this could imply for Luca now. And he's going to be forced to confront a vulnerable side of himself that he's going to have to see every day when he looks in the mirror that he isn't used to seeing. It's something that he's completely masked up until this point. And it's obviously very terrible, but it makes me really excited for what sort of direction we could take his character from here. It makes me really excited. Definitely I've ever been this excited to see someone with this sort of physical injury on their face, because it's really going to be good for his character and going to be really interesting for his character. I really do hope it gets explored. Obviously we don't really know exactly what's going to be coming after all these sub-songs, but I feel like something like this you can't kind of put this out there and then not address it. It's him just being alive is something that needs to be addressed, and I want to get a more, obviously this is a very genuine Luca. This is a Luca reminiscing on his time with Huna, wishing to go back to it, but I want a more vulnerable sounding Luca in musically. I really want that. Obviously we definitely got that in the cover songs, but I don't quite see the cover songs as in universe as the sub songs are. They definitely, I think they are to an extent, but they're not as relevant as the sub songs for sure. The cover songs are a bit more, definitely a bit more fun, I'd say. But yeah, man, this is really exciting stuff for his character. The image is so unsettling. It's this in the mouth that really does it for me. Like this, his voice and his mannerisms and his physical appearance is something that has clearly carried him to this point to an extent. Obviously, he definitely coddled with the aliens he's embraced. Well, maybe embrace isn't the right word, but he's taken advantage of his position he's been in to survive and make it to the top and all that kind of thing. But a Huna that looks like, well, that I keep saying Huna, a Luca that looks like this, a Huka, who the fuck is Huka? Oh my god, a Luca that looks like this. The aliens aren't. They're not gonna put him out into the public looking like this. He's a star. If this came out like that, this is his current state, it wouldn't. I mean, just the fact that in the Till comics, in the timescape, we see Luca on the billboard looking fine. Like it's either an old picture or an edited picture. So I wonder how that's going to be handled, his publicity and his position in the alien society, how that is all going to be handled. Because he just, I mean, the machine, assuming that is a machine gun keeping him going at the end as well, it's definitely haunting, it's unnerving, it's paired with the image, it's really unsettling, really, really unsettling. But yeah, I mean, the song was nice, lyrically, musically, it was a fun sort of generic sort of regular K-pop vibe, but there's a lot here. There's definitely a lot here to think about, a lot here to unpack with Luca. And I'm really excited to see where we go from here with him. I can only assume now that we'll get the second Mizi sub song, maybe next week or the week after, I'm not too sure. But I'll probably see you then. I've said a few times in the past now, I'll see you for that. I'll see you for the Mizi sub song, and it's not happened, but surely this time, maybe. I'd be surprised if we get a part 3 Luca sub song, unless we do get a more vulnerable sounding musically song, as I was just talking about. That'd be great. But I am expecting Mizzy now at this point, but they seem to, they're definitely building her up and saving her for last, and I'm really anticipating that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Alien Stage always happy to do Alien Stage videos, no matter what I'll be doing. I really do enjoy everything that comes out of this series. It's so fun to get into and so fun to talk about and think about. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave comments and thoughts below on the song and the meanings and everything like that, all the good stuff, you know how it is. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.